Good day, everyone. I am Irene Marie C. Arqueo from BS3, and today we will tackle Module 2, The Teacher as a Knower of Curriculum. This module describes school curriculum in terms of its definition, its nature and scope, which are needed by the teacher as a knower. This module provides a wider perspective for the teachers about the curriculum in terms of curriculum approach, curriculum development process, some curriculum models, and the foundation upon which curriculum is being anchored. And now, I will be discussing the Lesson 2.1, the school curriculum with its definition, nature, and scope. At the end of the lesson, we will be able to define curriculum from different perspectives and describe the nature and scope of curriculum. Each member of the society seems to view curriculum differently. There are varied demands on what schools should do and what curriculum should be taught. Like more debates are emerging on the use of language inside the classroom. Like, should it be mother tongue, the national language, or the global language? In the implementation of K-12 curriculum, we are now using the mother tongue language as a medium of instruction from grade level 1 to 3. And to have a common understanding on what curriculum really is, this lesson will present some definition as given by authors. Likewise, we will find the description of nature and scope of curriculum from several points of view. Oftentimes, curriculum is taken in its narrow view of listing of subjects to be taught in schools, or sometimes it is understood as broadly as the all learning experiences that an individual undergo while in school. Just like many concepts of education, there seems to be no common definition of curriculum. It is broad and complex, and because of this, curriculum is sometimes characterized as fragmentary, elusive, and confusing. Let us define curriculum from various definitions. The word curriculum was originated from the Latin word currere, which means the course of race or to proceed. New International Dictionary defines curriculum as a whole body of course in an educational institution or by a department, while the Oxford English Dictionary defines curriculum as courses to be taught in schools or universities. UNESCO defines curriculum as a description of what, why, how, and how well students should learn in a systematic and intentional way, like what should be taught, how it should be taught, and how will students achieve this curriculum by the end of the learning time frame. Numerous definitions indicates dynamism, which connotes diverse interpretations influenced by modes of thoughts, pedagogies, philosophies, political as well as cultural perspectives. Here are some definitions coming from various authors. According to Daniel Tanner of 1980, curriculum is a planned and guided set of learning experiences and intended outcomes formulated through the systematic reconstruction of knowledge and experiences under the auspices of the school for the learners and continuous skillful growth in personal social competence. According to Pratt of 1980, it is a written document that systematically describes goals planned, objectives, content, learning activities, evaluation, procedures, and so forth. According to Scovert of 1987, the contents of subject, concepts, and tasks to be acquired, planned activities, the designed learning outcomes and experiences, products of cultures, and an agenda to reform society make up a curriculum. And lastly, according to Haas of 1987, a curriculum includes all the experience that individual learners have in a program of education, whose purpose is to achieve broad goals and related specific objectives, which planned in terms of a framework of theory and research, where past and present professionals practice. Let us have the other point of view of other curricularists, the traditional point of view and the progressive point of view. In a traditional point of view, a curriculum is a body of subject on subject matter prepared by the teachers for the students to learn. It was synonymous to the course of study or syllabus. Traditional curriculum consists of techniques that are in line with the old way of teaching, such as lectures, use of educational materials, recitations, and homework, which is part of the standard system. In this traditional view of curriculum, teachers are the soul of knowledge, wherein students are expected to be more passive and there are limited chances of learning things on their own. The first traditional point of view from Robert Hutchins. According to him, curriculum is permanent studies, wherein basic education should emphasize the 3 R's. These are the reading, writing, and arithmetic, while in college education should be grounded to liberal education. For him, curriculum is viewed as permanent studies, which explains why some subjects are repeated from elementary to college, such as grammar, reading, and mathematics. Arthur Bester is an essentialist who believes that the mission of the school is to train the intellectual capacity of the learners. He pertains that a curriculum should focus on developing the intellectual aspect of the students. Joseph Schwab believes that discipline is the sole source of curriculum, wherein the subject area in basic education are mathematics, science, social studies, English, humanities, and language. He said that curriculum should consist only knowledge. As a leading curriculum theorist, Schwab used the term discipline as a ruling doctrine for curriculum development, pertaining that a discipline inside the classroom will help the students to stay focused on their academics, saying that a disciplined student will able to stay focused on his goals and be able to keep his work as a top priority. Philip Phoenix asserts that curriculum should consist of entirely knowledge that comes from various disciplines. In this traditional point of view, we have noticed that the traditionalist emphasizes the knowledge, intellectual, and discipline in developing a curriculum. From the traditional view of theorists like Hutchins, Schwab, Bester, and Phoenix, curriculum can be defined as a field of study, which is highly academic and is concerned with broad historical, philosophical, psychological, and social issues. From traditional view, curriculum is mostly written documents such as syllabus, course of study, books and references where knowledge is found but is used as a means to accomplish intended goals. Now, let us have the progressive points of view from other curricularists. A progressive curriculum, on the other hand, enforces students to learn things by themselves, with the teacher acting only an active participant rather than an intervening individual. It pertains to the total learning experience, thus, listing of school subjects, syllabi, course of study, specific discipline does not make a curriculum, because it can only be called curriculum if the written materials are being actualized by the learners. It emphasizes the experiential and hands-on learning, wherein the students have the great control on their learning process. First, let's have the progressive point of view from John Dewey. He believes that education is experiencing. We learn by doing as we indulge ourselves to the learning process. He argues that reflective thinking is important. It's a tool to unify curricular elements such as aims, goals, and objectives, the subject matter, learning experiences, the evaluation, and approaches. For him, it is important to test knowledge through application, or the learning by doing, which became influential in education. Colin Caswell and Ken Campbell. They viewed curriculum as all experiences that children have under the guidance of teachers. They emphasizes that curriculum should contain all the learning experiences that children needed, and a teacher should only act as the guidance and facilitates their learning. Smith, Stanley, and Shores shares the same point of view, wherein a sequence of potential experiences set up in the school for the purpose of disciplining the children and the youth while doing a group activity. Colin Marsh and George Willis defines curriculum as experiences inside the classroom, which are planned and enacted by the teachers and also learned by the learners. So based on progressivist point of view about curriculum, it emphasizes the opportunities to the students to apply what they learn by doing it into action. So a progressive curriculum is concerned with child's development, the motivation of the child to learn, their needs, and their interests. Children are encouraged to learn through experiences with the guidance of their teachers. Progressive curriculum is viewed as a student-centered learning. So all in all, progressivism comes from the word progress, which means to make changes, reform, or improvement towards better condition, in the way how the curriculum was defined and implemented from different progressivist perspectives. Curriculum is a dynamic process as changes occurs in society. The world is changing, and so the demands of the society that we learners and citizens have to meet. For example, the implementation of the K-12 curriculum. It is to help our country to meet the global educational standard and to produce globally competitive graduates. So curriculum must be adaptive to the changing conditions of the world. So why curriculum is important? First, curriculum is the backbone of the whole educational process. Without curriculum, we cannot conceive any educational endeavor, because curriculum is the reason of the existence of every schools. Curriculum is very important in education because it helps teachers to deliver an effective and quality education. A curriculum sets standards, goals, and learning outcomes that helps us to judge whether or not the students be able to move into the next level. As we summarize, curriculum is what is taught inside and outside of school premises, a set of subjects, content, a program of studies, set of materials, sequence of courses, a set of performance objectives, series of experiences undergone by learners in school, what individual learners experience as a result of school, everything that goes within a school. So curriculum is the learning experience of the learner under the guidance of the teacher.